We're just on our way to the Alliance for Responsible Citizenship, and we've dressed up as a journalist team for a fictional media entity called Red Hot News, and we're going to ask people about free speech.
Free speech has been a huge threat. Part of my position as an envoy is to create a US-EU think tank to discuss solutions to all of these issues that are really attacking our rights globally.
There are sort of countless examples of people getting arrested for praying outside of abortion clinics and medical institutions, and obviously these things just run contrary to free expression, free speech.
I think Peterson is a great advocate for free speech. He has experienced firsthand himself what it means to be silenced. He now is on some sort of new type gulag retraining course on how to be a proper human being. I think Dr. Peterson knows perfectly well how to be a proper human being.
We need to drop our naive belief in the untrammeled goodness of diversity and multiculturalism.
So I very much align with his values here, yes.
We need to respond maturely and with discernment to the true complexities of religious, racial, and ethnic difference.
It's more the things that cannot be said. For example, critique towards Islam.
Anyone on the conservative side cannot voice any type of opinion without an entire generation of people bullying and hate speech online on social media.
We're not allowed to present that full spectrum, which is no surprise with 99% of my colleagues being communists.
And can I assume you're not communist?
How did you guess? I'm a social conservative. I'm a Roman Catholic.
We've kind of forgotten that what underpins everything is our Judeo-Christian culture, and that's where we need to start.
Honestly, we have generations of reprogramming of people that we're going to have to address.
We should be able to express ourselves and justify, hopefully, with some evidence and some rational ideas, our viewpoints, without being criticised for having a viewpoint which is different from the common view.
Our great task is not just to break through with innovation, but to reclaim what is ours, to say that we love it, and that if people don't wish to join us, there are other places they can be.
You can't do anything, because if you do, we'll call you a racist.
I did sign up to the Free Speech Union recently before I published something, which was to do about Tommy Robinson and to do about the recent riots, which sort of burst up in England, and that people who did speak about issues that were seriously concerning them in their communities had the police knocking at the door, we sort of felt suppressed.
The progressives wrung their God-forsaken hands about Islamophobia, that term for cowards, collaborators, and fools, and hate speech, that term for those who hate speech.
Climate is important, but so is the alleviation of poverty. And alleviation of poverty has come hand in hand, as I only learned yesterday, hand in hand with the access to energy.
I'm not a scientist. I can't tell you whether CO2 is leading to warming or not, but we do, as you rightly say, need to get this debate into a sense of perspective. Let's become not just energy independent, we could actually become an energy exporter.
If you ask my children, they would argue that anytime you assume someone's gender, that's offensive. They're trying to be kind and respectful of that, and it's just gotten, it's gone too far.
So, what are the worst possible outcomes of that for you? What kind of society do you fear living in?
Probably one where bestiality is acceptable. That is my biggest concern.
I marvel when I come to Europe and sometimes there'll be a strike on and the air traffic controllers are striking or the pilots are striking, whatever, and everything's shut down. And I kind of go, why? It seems that those are essential services. Why does that happen? And so JFK in 1962 in America signed an executive order allowing federal employees to unionize for the first time. Bad idea. I think, Mr. Trump, if you're listening, you should rescind that executive order.
the freedom of speech can be curtailed in more subtle ways than just because of tyrants or dictators.
There is a strong irony to the fact that although we've come here to talk about free speech to people, that free speech does not extend to being able to discuss free speech within the venue itself.
We're sitting in a cafe, quite a long way from the building, with a security car outside, so that we're not allowed to go back and have any of these discussions with any of the people anymore.
So it felt like the overall theme was freedom of expression in a certain way, but the question that came up for us was definitely expression for whom.